What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we're going to be talking about who you should pick with your blue stone. If you did happen to purchase the stone packs that did have the blue stone attached to it, it was one of the more expensive packs. There was like 2 of the sales that you could buy, so you were able to get up to 2 blue stones. And then along with these blue stones, you could use them to purchase basically like the premium like Dokkan Fest units, like more so like newer ones, more recent Easy A's and everything like that. So I kind of wanted to go over, you know, which units we have here as options, and who you should probably use your stone on if you did end up getting it. So starting out here, if you do end up picking one of the LRs, so there are 10 LRs that you can choose from, it does cost you 2 of your blue stones. And then if you end up picking one of the like Dokkan Fest or one of the banner units, which I will tell you right now, 100% do not use your blue stone on one of these banner units. Like, don't use it on this STR Goten and Trunks, don't use it on this Goten, don't use it on this Kibito and Supreme Kai. Like, do not use it on any of those guys. It'll be a complete waste of your blue stone. Even if you are missing these units, you will pull them from the general pool. Do not waste your blue stone on one of those units. Now let's kind of start with the LRs and kind of work our way from, like, you know, top here to bottom. So the first unit we have is the STR Goku and Vegeta that transform into Super Vegito. Now over here on Global, we did just get their Easy A, so they are actually a very good unit to choose with your blue stone, especially if you don't have them. They are a very good unit. I mean, they lead Majin Buu Saga, so they have a very good category that they lead as well. And post Easy A, I mean, they made this unit very good. If we actually go over here, I'm sure we could probably find them relatively quickly. I mean, it's just Goku and Vegeta units, so yeah, so we got them right here. So their Battle of Wits, Majin Buu Saga, leader 180%, 3 key. So they stack defense on both their 18 key and their 12 key. Then they greatly raise their attack for 1 turn, cause colossal and mega colossal damage. In base form, I mean, they get 200% attack and defense. They get 2 key. They get 30% damage reduction. Get an additional 2 key per type key sphere obtained. So they kind of have like the mechanic that they had starting with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from the 4th year anniversary, where anytime you got like 1 key, you would get 2 keys. And if you got, you know, 2 key, or if you got 1 key of the same type, you end up getting more than, you get 3. So essentially, or I'm sorry, you get 4. So they do have that mechanic. They launch an additional attack, has a great chance to become a super, medium chance to perform a crit, get an additional 50% attack and defense, and launch an additional super for a turn from the character's entry turn. And when HP is 70% or more at the start of the turn, plus they get an additional chance to perform a crit plus 20% and an extra 20% damage reduction if HP is 50% or more when they attack. So in base, I mean, they are still pretty good, but the main thing you want to get them to is like the Super Vegito, obviously, because once you get him out, I mean, this is where you're gonna be doing the bulk of your damage. You get full recovery right away, guards all attacks for 3 turns from the character's start of turn. You get 5 key, 250% attack and defense, high chance to perform a crit. You get an additional chance to perform a crit plus 20% within the same turn for every attack performed, plus an additional 30% attack within the same turn after receiving an attack. Gets 30% damage reduction. plus an additional damage reduction of 30% when receiving normals. He counters. I mean, he does a lot, and he also has the scouter effect for 10 turns from when he comes out. So this guy is definitely a very good option if you don't have him. So that's kind of like one option you can go with. Second option we have is the physical LR boot tanks. So if we go to, we should be able to find them pretty quickly here. If we go to Boo Saga and then we go here. So kind of the same, they kind of did a sort of similar thing with him when they easy 8 him. But he's power absorption and Majin power, key 480%. He greatly stacks attack on his 12 key and greatly raises defense, or greatly stacks defense on his 18 key. And then he greatly raises attack for a turn on the 18 key, and then he greatly raises defense for a turn on the 12 key. But he recovers 20% HP at the start of turn, 200% attack and defense. This is the only thing I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of like the great chance to guard, even though great chance is a 70%. It's still like the RNG factor. Like if they just gave him unconditional guard, that would have been better. He's got the medium chance to dodge. He gets the key +2 per type key sphere obtained. Launches an additional super attack. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense, and guards all attacks for 1 turn from his entry turn, or when HP is 90% or less at the start of the turn. He can survive a KO attack up to once within a turn. He gets an additional chance to dodge, plus 20%. HP is 80% or less when receiving an attack. And then he also recovers 12% HP if HP is 50% or less at the end of the turn. So this is kind of like the good thing right here, is him recovering 20% HP at the start of every turn. So that is like a good mechanic. The rest of the stuff is kind of heavily RNG based, like, you know, the great chance to guard, medium chance to dodge, you know, so stuff like that I'm not a huge fan of. I love it when they kind of just give it to him unconditionally. Now, when he transforms into Buuhan, again, he is basically kind of like the Super Vegeta, but for the extreme side. Except he raises attack and defense for 4 turns on both 12 and 18 key. Except on the 18 key, he does mega colossal damage and he seals supers. Now, in his passive after he transforms, recovers 20% HP at the start of turn still, launches an additional super attack for 3 turns from the start of turn, is 250% attack and defense, and he gets key +5, which is very good. He guards all attacks after he transforms, so he gets unconditional guard then. He gets a high chance of dodging, so that goes up to a 50% chance to dodge. Launches an additional super attack automatically. Gets an additional key +2, which we already knew. He disables the action of the enemies hit by the character's ultra. So whenever they get hit by an 18 key, he does disable their action once. And then he gets an additional 50% attack and defense for 5 turns from his entry turn. Gets 100% attack and defense starting from the 6th turn from the character's entry turn. And then he seals the attacked enemy super for 5 turns, which is actually really good. Like if the enemy can be sealed, this thing for 5 turns is actually very good. Then he gets an additional 50% attack temporarily upon the character's next attack if HP is 50% or more at the end of the turn. Then he recovers 10% HP if HP is 50% or less. But Buuhan actually is a very solid option as well if you don't have him. So these two are very good options. They have like an EZA banner up right now, so if you want to try to summon for him, now's a good chance because there's only 3 featured units, so you do have a 33% chance essentially to pull one of them if it is a featured unit. I think the 3rd unit is like physical Super Vegeta, so you know, he's okay. He's I guess, okay, maybe he's not the greatest, but maybe when they super EZA him, he'll be much better. Though, I mean, he is great for like normals and everything like that, but yeah, he's still a super attack magnet for whatever reason. Now, we get to the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So, global players, we obviously do not have their EZA yet, but it's coming. And when it shows up during the anniversary for us, these units are so fun. I'm not kidding when I say these units are so fun to use, because they are busting out like 15 to like 20, 25 million attack stats, and just they wear down the enemy like it's literally nothing. Especially because they raise attack and defense for a turn, they lower attack and defense. On their 18 key, they massively raise attack, which is a 100% multiplier. And then they greatly lower attack and defense. They get 170% attack and defense, 4 key. They randomly change key spheres to rainbow, so they're rainbow orb changers. Only if there's another superhero category ally on the team, which you more than likely run another superhero category ally on the team. They get 2 key per rainbow key sphere they get. They get an additional 7% attack and defense per key sphere obtained. So they're like a nuking style unit. They get 7% crit chance. They reduce damage received by 7%. And launch an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super per rainbow key sphere obtained. Up to 3 additional attacks within the turn. So you can get up to like 35% extra attack and defense, and a 35% chance to crit, and 35% damage reduction if you get like 5 rainbow key spheres. Then they get an additional 70% attack and defense when key is 18% or more, or 18 or more. And then they perform a crit when key is 24 unconditionally. And when HP is 50% or less, they get 70% damage reduction when attacking, once only. And then they do still have their active where they get a full 24 key. They get this massive 70% attack, and they lose 50% defense for 1 turn. But I'm telling you now, when you activate this active skill and you get all of these like orbs right here, these guys are hitting like a literal Mack truck. Like, they do so much damage that they can almost 1 turn any boss in the game. Like, that's how good they are. So if you don't have this unit and you kind of want to prepare for them, they're one of the best options that's up here. Like, out of these units here, I would say these are probably like your best option. Now, mind you, they are featured on the anniversary banners. So this is kind of like where you have to decide how you want to do this, because they are featured on the banner, but the I believe the Buu and the like the Vegeta unit, they're not featured, I don't believe. So they have their banner up right now, which you can summon on. The Blue Boys, they will have a banner, like the anniversary banner. They will be featured on there, so you do have a high chance of pulling them there. So it's kind of like, you know, who do you want to get, essentially. Now, Vegeta and Gogeta, they already got their EZAs. They're still very good units. I'm sure a lot of people have already used them. I don't want to kind of go over them too much, but they've had their EZA for, you know, since last year now, and they still perform very well. So these two are still very good options, but they're also on the anniversary banner. It's like these 3 units are on the anniversary banners. Then we go to LR Gohan and Goten. They're also featured on the anniversary banner. So like there's a lot of options here. And I actually want to let me do this real quick. I'm actually gonna pull up the banners. I want to double check. I want to say, yeah. So on like Beast Gohan's banner, the Gohan and Goten are featured on there. And then if we go to the Broly banner, Broly's banner has the Super Saiyan Blues, Gogeta, and Vegeta. So these units that you see here that you can buy with your Bluestone, I would probably not use your Bluestone on them if you are going to be summoning heavily for the anniversary, which I would suggest you definitely do. So you'll have a high chance of pulling the units then. The Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku, they're good. They've definitely, you know, they've kind of fallen off a lot nowadays, unfortunately, even after their EZA. They're still usable, they're still viable, but I would not say to use your stones on them. Even though they do lead Vegeta family and Goku family, like respectively, I'd probably avoid using your stones there. And then the year 3 EZAs. Now, I've seen some people say that during the 10th anniversary, so when we finally have like the two versions merge, or not merge, but like get on the same schedule, we get synced up. Some people are thinking that we might get a super EZA for both of these units as a, you know, kind of like the two versions merging together, like them giving these guys super EZAs. So yeah, I don't want to say to use your, I definitely don't want to say to use your Bluestones on them, but they could possibly get a super EZA. We don't know for sure, but there is a possibility that it does happen because of the merger. And, you know, these units are fusing units, so, you know, merging the games together, going into one, you know, it's a possibility. I don't want to say it could happen, but it is a possibility. So I would definitely not use your Bluestone on any of these, like these guys right here, like the Goku, the Super Saiyan Blues, Vegeta, Gogeta, Gohan and Goten, Super Saiyan 4s, and then the year 3 anniversaries. I would probably not use your stones on them. If you were gonna use your stone on any of them, I'd do it on either the STR Vegeta or Goku and Vegeta that go into Vegeta, or the Buuhan. So let's also go down here to the Dokkan Fest real quick. This is where it gets a little different though. So we have Int Majin Vegeta, who doesn't have an EZA yet. So we don't know when he's going to get his EZA. So possibility, you know, he could be really good in the future. Though right now, we don't know. I mean, he's definitely fallen off in like the most recent content, but I'd probably skip using your Bluestone on Majin Vegeta. This Goku, he's featured right now. I'm sure if you've been summoning, you've probably pulled him. So I would definitely stay away from him. Kid Buu, same thing with him. He's featured right now, so I would not use your stones on them. Videl, she needs an EZA. I'd probably not use your Bluestone on her. Like I said, the banner units, the side banner units, don't even waste your time on them. Now, Tech Ultimate Gohan. He got his EZA. He is a beast of a unit, legitimately. Like, he is very, very good. I would actually recommend using your Bluestone on him if you don't have a copy of him. If you have him, if he's not rainbowed, I would definitely use your Bluestones to get copies of this Gohan, because he will be a staple on a lot of your teams because of how good he is. Like, legitimately, he is the #1 like TUR right now post EZA. He's probably the best thing out on both global and JP. Second, I would follow up with the Tech transforming, or the Exchange Buu. He would be my #2 pick if you were going to go down this route of picking like one of the Dokkan Fest units, because it's only one stone that you can use per like unit. So you can essentially buy multiple units here instead of like just the one. Now, unfortunately, you can only buy one copy of them, but you can get like 2 units down here, whereas with the LRs, you can only get 1 unit. So if you go down this route right here, the Buu is a good option. Gotenks, he got his EZA. He's also a very good option. Now, the only thing we don't know is this Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta that transform. We don't have any details for them yet. In part 2, we might get their like EZA details. Like it's a very, very high possibility that these guys EZA in part 2, and they might be very good. So if you guys haven't used your stones yet, I'd probably hold out until part 2 arrives, see what we get, what kind of info we get there, and then, you know, decide who you want to buy. But in the current setting, what I would say to do is if you pick an LR, I would go Vegito number 1, Buuhan number 2, and then if you go down the path of these guys, I like how these guys are marked right here. I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like just STR Vegito, Buuhan, the Blue Boys, and then Vegito, and then Gogeta. In that order is how I would go. And then if you do go down this path, where if you go down, like if you want to buy a Dokkan Fest unit, I would go for sure Gohan would be number 1, Buu would be number 2, Gotenks would be number 3, and then I guess maybe wait and see until we get the details for Goku and Vegeta if we do get them. So that can be like option 4 and 5. Or if these guys are really good, but maybe I think Gohan is probably going to be better than these two. I'd still pick Gohan as number 1, and maybe if these 2 units are better than Buu, I'd probably pick one of these as like number 2 and number 3. And then you can also get an Elder Kai if you need to, but I'm sure a lot of people will actually pick units here instead of like the Elder Kai. Now, we're actually going to swap over real quick to my game. So obviously I still have my 2 blue stones. I haven't bought anybody here. I actually went through and I made a tab. So these are all my blue stone units. So the Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, I can't even buy. Or I could buy, but I have no need to. I've rainbowed all 3 of them. If we go to the tech here, I've rainbowed the Vegito's LR and TUR, and I don't even have a copy of his SSR, but I'm not going to be worrying about that because he's going to be on the anniversary banner, so I'm sure I'll pull plenty of him there. The LR Gohan and Goten, I've got them rainbow, TUR's rainbow, SSR's rainbow, so we're not worried about that. Gohan, obviously I've got him rainbow, his SSR rainbow. Okay, I threw Goten and, you know, his SSR in here, they're rainbow. The Majin Vegeta, I've got him rainbow here, but his SSR, I'm 1 copy away from being able to rainbow his SSR. So I'm gonna hold out on him and the Goku specifically because I feel like their EZA banners will come up and then I can just coin them essentially. So I'm not going to worry about the Vegeta here. And then the Buus, obviously, I've got them rainbow. If we go to Int, the Vegito units, so the Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, I've got all 3 of them rainbow here. So we don't have to worry about them. Gotenks, him and his SSR are rainbow. Majin Vegeta, him and his SSR are rainbow. The Supreme Kai and Kibito, they're both rainbow. And then the Goku, I've got his TUR rainbow, but his SSR, for some odd reason, I cannot pull his SSR, but I've only got him at 69%, so I still need 3 copies. But again, same thing with like the Tech Vegeta. I think I'm just gonna hold out and wait until we see if they get EZA details or whatnot. If we go to STR, all of them are rainbow. So the Vegito, Gogeta, the Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Videl, Kid Buu, and then the Goten and Trunks, all of them are rainbow. So I literally need nothing from STR. And finally, when we get to the Fizz over here, we have the year 3 units. The LR is rainbow, TUR is rainbow. However, the SSR is at 90% because I still need one more. And then the Super Saiyan Blues, I've got LR rainbow, TUR rainbow, SSR rainbow. And then the Buuhan, I have all of them rainbow. And then this Super Saiyan 2 Goku, I also have rainbow. So my only 3 options that I really have that are not rainbowed is I can get a copy of the Tech Vegito, which I don't have, which I will pull during anniversary, so I'm not worried about it. I can get the I can get a copy of this Vegeta and get his SSR rainbow. I can get a copy of this Goku and get him to 79%. Or I can get a copy of the year 3 anniversary unit and get them to 100%. So like I said, like I mentioned before, the Vegeta and the Goku, I feel like they're going to easy A in part 2. So I'm not going to worry about getting them. Vegito, he's going to be on the banner during anniversary. So I'll pull him then. So I'm not worried about him. So I'm actually going to pick up my final copy of the year 3 anniversary SSR here. And that'll get me my rainbow for their SSR. So we'll actually go over here and we'll go ahead and just use up our stone and boom, there we go. So that's the unit that I ended up going with. As funny as it is, it's one of the older units, but that's who, like, you know, I decided to go with. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to, like, yeah, we're gonna have to like reverse. This is like the annoying part. Gotta reverse him, reverse them, and then we can go to the actual unit here and feed in that SSR and boom. So now I'll be able to rainbow this unit and add another one to my collection. So there we go. Again, just really quick, if we just look at this one more time. Top 5 right here, they're sitting here in a row. Vegito, Buuhan, Blue Boys, Vegito, Gogeta, in that order. If you pick the if you use the blue stone, or if you use your 1 stone for the Dokkan Fest, I'd go Ultimate Gohan, I'd go Exchange Buu, and then Go Tanks, and then see. We'll wait for part 2 to see like what the easy A is going to be for these guys, but Gohan definitely would be the #1 choice. And then I guess whatever they end up doing with these guys is going to be the main thing. But as of right now, Exchange Buu #2, Go Tanks #3. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys already used your blue stone, who you used it on, or if you're saving it, who you're going to actually end up using your stone on. So let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully this kind of helped you guys out a little bit, hit that like button. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe. I'll have more videos like this in the future, especially during anniversary and stuff like that. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.